Hey guys, how you doing? This is Andy. 大家好，我是黄嘉欣。Hey guys, I would like to share something with you real quick. Please keep this in mind. This is going to be longer than my 2-3 minutes usual tip of the day because I've done so many. I recorded over and over, tried so many different versions. I felt that, you know what, giving bits and pieces, it's just not the right thing. I wanted to be able to give you guys complete information, so this is going to be a little longer than my usual tip of the day. Okay, so I first did this right after the Texas shooting, and I felt that the nation wasn't ready. The nation is still recovering, still sensitive to the topic, but I figure right now we should move forward. It is the right time. Okay, so a lot of people have reached out to me, calling me, texting me, also meeting me in person, trying to figure out how to legally purchase firearms for home defense, how to apply for a pistol permit, so on and so forth. So without any delay, let's dive in real quick. We're going to divide it in two sections. First things, how do you apply for a pistol permit? Okay, so depending on which state you're from, in the state of New York, it is not a legal, it's not a right to carry state, meaning that it's almost like a privilege that you have to prove to someone that you are worthy of granting you that pistol permit, therefore you can purchase a handgun. Okay, so in the state of Texas, it's right to carry. That means anyone over the age of 18, they'll be able to walk into a gun shop and legally purchase firearms. In this case, that's exactly what Salvador Ramos did. He purchased 2 rifles on his 18th birthday, okay, legally. So a little background so that you know. His grandfather, okay, at the time which he was living with, had criminal history, which does not allow him to keep firearm in his house. So according to the inside source saying that the grandfather found out, grandfather said that I had no knowledge of it. Had I had knowledge, I would definitely tell him to get rid of it because based on his criminal history, he is not allowed to keep a firearm in his house. That would have prevented this whole tragedy from happening. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so you will have to, I highly recommend you hire some, a professional. I definitely hire Edelman to get my pistol permit. They're fantastic. They're going to charge you quite a few bucks, but it's well worth it because from the time I met with the guy to the fingerprint process, the interview process, to the time I picked up my pistol permit from the police precinct, it took more than 3 years. It was wild. Okay, so you definitely want to hire someone because remember, every little mistake that you make is going to delay the process. Okay, so even hire someone, even hire a professional, still took me 3 years. Okay, so the FBI background check is 6 months. That 180 days you can't skip. Okay, and then process they have up to, I believe, a year or 2 to schedule your interview. So that on its own take a year and a half or 2. Right, and then from the interview process, there's a decision period, waiting period, and then when you're approved and granted, then you go and pick up your pistol permit. So that's the overall process. Obviously, you have to have, again, we mentioned this, before, the entire family will have to sign off on an affidavit saying that they know, they have knowledge, they're aware that you're applying for a pistol permit, and also you have to get 3 letters of recommendation from your workplace or from your friends or your coworkers, because the way they look at it, if you cannot convince your family, the people closest to you, that you're worthy of a pistol permit, how are we going to grant you a pistol permit, right? So that's the whole process. But anyway, so let's move on to the second part. I know we're coming up to 4 minutes already. So how do you legally purchase firearm in New York for home defense purposes? Okay, so again, if you live in Nassau County, you'll be able to purchase rifle and shotguns without a permit. You can walk in, again, instant background check. You should be able to pass right on the spot. If you don't pass right on the spot for any reason, you will have to wait a 30-day mandatory wait period. So, and again, the difference between Nassau County, I keep on mentioning Nassau County and 5 boroughs, is because there is a capacity difference. Okay, so for the same firearm, okay, in 5 boroughs, you're only allowed to have 2 shells in that shotgun. In Nassau County, the same firearm, you could have up to 5 shells. Okay, and also in the Nassau County, you're allowed to purchase something called a DP-12, which is a double-barreled 12-gauge shotgun. That beast holds 16 rounds of shells in the tube. It's a double barrel. So it definitely highly recommend you to check it out. I bought it about 2 years ago for $1,500. And then now that same gun's going for over $3,000. So it's definitely a good investment. I could have sold it right now to make a profit. But anyway, you'll be able to go in, purchase, and then you know, you have to keep it in your home. A lot of people goes, that's wild. Why would you need a pistol permit for a little handgun, and you don't need a permit for a long rifle? So, hey, listen, I didn't make the law. Okay, the law and regulation is you can have rifles for your home defense purposes, and then obviously there are regulations in place, like for example the barrel of the gun has to be 16 inches. You know, it cannot be any aggressive features, so on and so forth. I don't want to get too technical because we're coming up to 6 minutes already. All right, so if you need more details, please reach out to me. If you have any issues, if you're concerned about your safety, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to sit down and help you further. Stay well, be safe. Bye now.